Okay guys, so as promised, here's our next video, and I'm gonna go ahead and break up the clouds by height, excuse me, into 3 different videos. And I'm gonna start with the clouds that are lowest in the atmosphere, okay? So in Edmodo, all of you got a little graphic that looked like this. And so all of the clouds pretty much that I'm gonna cover right now are on this graphic. And so I'm not going to write them all down, because what I realized is when I write things down, the video makes it backward and that just makes it confusing. So just know you've got everything that you need right here, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about the low-lying clouds, the ones that are lowest in the sky. So the first one, and we've talked about it pretty thoroughly in the last video, was the cumulus cloud, right? So again, like the nimbus cloud that I talked about and the cirrus cloud that I talked about, the cumulus cloud is also based on a Latin word, cumulus, that means accumulating or heaping, right? So if you think like you get a big fresh bowl of strawberries and you get the whipped cream and you just spray it. So it's just this big fluffy mound and it accumulates in this big heap of yumminess, right? So that's what a cumulus cloud is. It's just this big, huge like heap of just white fluffiness, all right, which is made up of water molecules. We also talked about another one in the last video, which is the cumulonimbus, and that one is the one that's the most menacing, right? The one that probably causes the most trouble. So here's another picture of that, and you can just kind of see, right? Like that looks like nothing good's coming. That just looks like something evil is gonna fall out of those clouds. And you can see really well in this picture, right, that it's vertical. It's kind of coming from the ground up. It's not stretched this way. It's coming from the ground up. All right. So these clouds will produce thunderstorms. They'll produce hail. They'll produce snow, and really the weather can be pretty awful when we see these clouds around. So we're not big, huge fans of them. All right, then we also have the stratus, which I told you about, right? And the stratus is one that just kind of looks like this big veil that is blocking everything, like the sun and the blue from the sky, blocking all of that from us. All right, and it's based on the Latin word stratus. All right, so that's what it's called, the stratus cloud. And stratus means layering, right? So you can kind of see the layering in the stratus cloud, and it's hard to see right here on this picture, but like I said, you guys will have you'll have that in your little cloud packet that I copied for you. Here's one of the pictures too that I gave you of the stratus. Now this one doesn't look depressing, right? But you can still see where it's those clouds, that big blanket of clouds is still blocking the sun from us, right? It's not gray and depressing, but it's still kind of just like this big thick blanket. And then there's also this one, right, where you can kind of see, I think this is supposed to be blue, but my printer started running out of blue ink, so just bear with me on that. But you can see all of these layers of clouds, right, just making this huge thick mass. All right, let me go ahead and do the next one, which is the stratocumulus. So the stratocumulus, let me see if I can find a nice picture of that one. Obviously is a mixture, a combination, it's a compound form of the stratus and the cumulus. So let me see, did I drop it out of here? Oh no. All right, I'll have to look to see if I can find a picture of it here. Oh, there it is, stratocumulus, lovely. Okay, there we go. All right, so you can see where they're layered, these clouds, right? But at the same time, you can kind of see that fluffiness that we're used to when we see a cumulus cloud. So when those two are kind of like combined into one, that's what that looks like. All right, and again, this is a low-lying cloud. Sometimes we'll see a little bit of precipitation with this type of cloud, but usually it's light. All right. I think that is all I want to tell you about the low-lying clouds, okay? Next video will be about the medium heights, all right?